Hello and welcome to the Kobold Cafe. This is Colin and I'm the GM for tonight. This is Star Trek Adventures Pathfinder using Modifius's Star Trek Adventures system. Joining us tonight for episode 8, did I say false or one wrong move? I think it's one false move. We have in ascending order of rank, Daniel.
Hey, this is Daniel. I'm playing Tesora, the Vulcan paleoastronomer.
And I think Everoth is the next rung up the ladder.
Hello, I am playing Eversoul, your now demoted medical intern.
I don't think they can take away your doctorship. That's not a rank. And then Tom.
I'm Commander Vivek, one of the one people not in trouble.
Oh my god, you are the only person not in trouble. All right, the ship's executive officer, James.
Hey, I'm James. I play Donjot.
Donjot. And Tara.
Hey, I play the captain, Captain Demore. She is awesome. I like her. She is mad, and I am singing.
Very melodic. All right, so tonight's episode, as I said, is one false move. Along with the name kind of comes a warning in that there are certain situations tonight where a failed roll could have disastrous consequences. So I just want you guys to all, I guess, be aware that this is a higher stakes episode.
Noted.
All right. So a quick recap. Last time the ship, the USS Percival, was attacked by an infant or maybe toddler crystalline entity that did some significant damage to the ship. No systems were permanently damaged or destroyed, but there was some hull damage, and there was another system that was damaged too. Does anybody remember what that was?
I think it was just the hull.
We did have 3 breaches.
Yeah, 2 were on the hull and 1 was somewhere else. Anyway, so you guys did have to go back to Tratado Station again. This time for repairs. However, because of the small size of the 116th Squadron that you're a part of, after the basic repairs to the hull were completed, Admiral Singh did kind of give you guys what I would call light duty. That's making quick runs between, Federation colonies that are sort of close to this area. That's, delivering things from a starbase to the Tratado Station. Kind of like busy work or go for work. And that's why repair crews that have sort of been added on board to supplement Vivek's damage control teams, sort of add bulkheads and repair the portions of the ship inside until you guys are back up to your fighting strength. So over the course of this month, the 2 most recent people that were on the in the sensor/science officer position on the bridge, and that would be Tesora and Eversoul, have been kept busy with their penal duties and confined to quarters. In addition, Admiral Singh has rotated in. He rotated in a young lady, kind of. The ship would be her first starship appointment. I didn't come up with a name for her, and you'll figure out why in a second. But she worked for several years in a botany lab on a starbase before being transferred to the 116th. She lasted about 2 days on board. Commander Tonjot made her cry her first day, and on her second day, when she complained about Tonjot to the captain also made her cry. So she resigned her commission and left the ship, with her tears still damp on her face. About a week later, the admiral transferred somebody from one of the other ships, the USS Riyadh. He's a fairly experienced Trill officer. He was also incredibly arrogant, which did not go over well with anybody on the bridge. And after about a week of getting the cold shoulder and kind of being shot down for not being as hot shit as he thought he was, he too requested to transfer back to the Riyadh. So the ship is now on their third science officer this month, and their fifth science officer in the last 2 months. He is a more bureaucratic transfer who used to run science operations on a dedicated science vessel, so he was effectively the third in command. This is a bit of a step down for him, but because of his passion for surveying new and undiscovered things, he decided to take an assignment farther out. So he is a human. His name is Van Gardner, Joseph Van Gardner, and he is a lieutenant commander. And go to okay. So, you guys have sort of been given a break from what you've been doing for the last month, which is, like I said, go for work and shuttling things around. Admiral Singh has asked you to meet the USS Tillamook in orbit of V's, the V system. And I'm sorry, the name of the people at V's. Verdact. I don't know if you guys remember because this was a while ago, but this was the first system that you guys visited in this not sector.
Were they the ones
Region.
whose farms were being eaten by the Trebles?
No, that was the second planet. This is the one who had leased out their asteroid belts and planetoids to mining companies, who then left a horrible, horrible mess behind.
Oh, that's right.
And we found the guy's ship.
Yes, correct. So they have you guys basically opened up relations between them being the Verdact and the Federation, and so the USS Tillamook is just coming back from visiting. I don't know, probably Earth, some planet in deep in Federation space, and an official ambassador. In the Federation, ambassador isn't just like a title; it also kind of carries a rank. And so there's an official ambassador that the Tillamook is transporting to V's in order to sort of ratify a trade and defense pact, which is sort of like the first step in a very long path to Federation membership. And really, you guys are being sent there just because it's I guess sort of a reward for the fact that you took the first step to getting the Verdact people to open up relations. They were not very happy with the Federation after the mining. All right, so for the first scene, Captain Demore is in her office, and the door is open, and in come Ensign Tesora. And I'm sorry, did you demote Eversoul?
No, he was just confined to quarters.
All right. So then, Lieutenant Commander Eversole, walk in. I think there's a. Do they have a security detail?
Uh, no, they've been goodish, so they're no longer on security detail and going from place A to place B.
Okay. So then,
And modern Starfleet ships track people like Big Brother anyway, so
that is very true. Okay. Yeah. So the two of them walk in. Is it just you, or is Tanjad there as well?
it is, I think, just me.
All right.
And how has this new guy been doing in the science role?
He. Oh, right. He's an uptight ball of stress. Um,
I get the feeling he might pop any day now.
yeah, in fact, there's already been some incidents where, well, Starfleet Regulation 32-9 says that we shouldn't. It's like, dude, just fucking chill and let me have my drink on the bridge. Or you know what I mean? Like he is very
Let
very
me
by the book.
Let me drink my steak slush.
Oh
I
God.
still drink that stuff.
Computer.
Oh, because you're using the replicator like out of regulation. You kind of have to
Modify
tweak
it.
settings.
Human baby
no,
supplement number 33, please.
All I have to do is clarify what I want, and then I just add a consistency modifier. But
Okay,
but so he's
Go ahead.
but so it seems like he's about to have a nervous breakdown, and
Everybody on the bridge has complained about him to you privately at least once.
okay.
Oh,
So
and the Bolian, what's his name? I always forget what we named the Bolian, but
our chef person.
Yeah.
He complained.
Loudly and consistently.
What was his complaint?
Just the thing, like he has no social grace, and you think that somebody whose job it is to lead people would just have better personal skills. And I tried to combine some traditional, oh God, what did I say his name was? Baumgartner?
I don't even remember.
Yeah, something with a
Van Gardner.
Van Gardner. Yeah, so I tried to combine what he said what his favorite meal was with a traditional Bolian soup, and he shouted at me for just
Yeah. All right, so I'll wait for them when they come in to stand at attention, and I'm gonna give them like a good 20 seconds. I'm looking at other things on my data pad.
I'm doing the left and right, like like those hang in there like cat clocks, the the black cat with the eyes that go side to side. That's my expression right now. Like,
And then after about 20 seconds of that, I'll put the thing down and go, sit.
Are there chairs?
There are chairs.
do you use them?
Yeah, no. If she says sit, I'm like like very obediently snap to the chair.
Ever?
Yeah, definitely.
I'll look at you two for again another long pause period of time and go, so I have managed to cool down a bit after both of your actions. And then I say, and I believe that there is some wiggle room in your punishments. That is to say that you are both competent when it comes to your jobs. Eversole, You are a very good doctor and science officer.
This is nothing.
Ensign, you are a brilliant mind and are a risk taker, which I have been known to like in the past. But can you both tell me where your failings lie?
Crickets chirp.
It'd be a long conversation that I'd prefer to have in private, but
Give
I
me
suppose we'd get
the
into it.
short version, Tesora.
um, well, I haven't really been able to package it up with a neat little bow. I suppose that's the problem. I don't
Neither of you can follow damned orders!
Quick shot of everybody on the bridge, like turning their heads sharply to look at the closed door.
Guard that
Tesora,
in engineering.
Tesora, you were given an explicit order to go to and get reinforcements when our planet or when our ship was being boarded by hostile aliens. And what did you do instead? You mind melded with the prisoner, which in its own right is screwed up. And then you proceeded to murder him. I know you were not, those charges were not for murder, but you and I both know that man was unconscious and tied down. Eversole, you were once on our second mission on the ship asked to terminate a pest problem on a global scale. And it took multiple orders for you to acquiesce. I was willing to let that one go because of your Hippocratic oath, but then you proved to me that it wasn't your damned Hippocratic oath, and it was in fact your sense they were cute and fuzzy because you shot at what equals to a toddler.
If I may, Captain.
You may not, Eversole.
He lowers the head.
It was a dangerous creature. I'm willing to admit that, but we were trying things to save its lives and ours. Now, you both are lucky you are still in Starfleet for these infractions. And even more lucky that I am even willing to consider putting you both back on the bridge. And if it wasn't for the shit candidates that we've been getting in recently, that I'm even considering this. So maybe the two of you together can make one decent bridge officer. Now, if you step out of line again and disobey myself or Commander Tanjot, you will be kicked out of Starfleet.
Captain,
faster.
we've got a priority 1 distress call.
Your orders, sir.
You are to take the bridge. You will be supervised closely and monitored by Commander Tanjot. Step out of line again, and your ass is out of here. Am I understood?
Yes, Captain.
Absolutely.
Take your stations on the bridge. Tanjot, put it through into my ready room.
Yes, Captain.
All right, yeah. So the distress call, It's really fuzzy. You do sort of recognize, in this clear frames in the static, the Andorian captain Thazoric, who is sitting on Tesora's court martial.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hear everything that he says, but kind of like in the static, words like explosion and casualties and 3 or 4 hours. I'm sorry, 12 or 14 hours, kind of like get uh uh you can snip those out, but otherwise there is a ton of distortion in this distress call.
Okay. Do we have a coordinates from it?
No.
No. All right. I step out onto the bridge and then go, Commander, we have an emergency situation with what was the ship's name?
The Tillamook.
The Tillamook. We need to extrapolate where that transmission was sent from immediately. Would you assist the science team on finding that?
You were talking to Tanjat, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. And then I'll look over at our current science officer.
Oh, what's his name? Van Gardner?
Van Gardner. I will look over. What was Van Gardner again? He wasn't the super egotistical one, right?
No.
Uptight, arrogant, and rules follower.
No, yeah, uptight and arrogant. Arrogant was guy number 2.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
This guy is just uptight and a super rules follower.
And also, Tesora and Eversoul are standing in the bridge, awkwardly white-faced.
Oh, yeah, actually, I don't think I like Mr. Uptight, so I will look over at Tesora. Because Tesora keeps doing a bunch of that. And say, go work with Commander Vivek on this.
Sure. Where do I work on this? Like out of character?
Well, normally it'd be a station on the bridge, but Vivek's going to be in engineering, so...
I mean,
Oh.
Can I work with it from the bridge? Like, we're
Yeah.
connected by computers, and we both have mind links. Like,
That's
Vivek
true.
and I we're probably used to
Then you know
sort
what?
of syncing up.
The station that you need...
Like remoting into the monitor.
The station that you need is the one that uptight guy Van Gardner is sitting at.
I will actually put my hand on Van Gardner's shoulder and I will say, Tesora, take the science station and work with Commander Vivek on extrapolating a location from that message.
He like opens his mouth, and then he kind of looks at you, and then her, and then he goes over and like stands at the wall.
Just orders are orders.
Arms are kind of hanging limply. Yeah.
What would be? I need something that is like obviously something I need a science officer to do, but like also kind of makes a statement of like.
I'm actually gonna pick up on Tonjat's little thing and go, Van Gardner, would you continue down to Astrometrics and see if you can work with that team to clear up this message?
He's like, well, as the ranking science officer, shouldn't my duty station be here on the bridge?
Well, yeah, but you see, it's just something we really need done by someone who is actually competent.
Whoa, do you see?
He kind of looks because he doesn't understand what's going on, but he knows that something is going on.
So I, um, I'm getting Tesora would get a little bit nervous on this. Um, I'm not sure how to complicate things, but I feel like she would act out of nervousness here because like she doesn't want to just like burn him. Like she actually doesn't have terribly bad feelings about the guy.
But could you be
Uh,
having second thoughts and third and fourth?
yes, that's what I'm trying to like compel here, but I don't know what I could say to sort of
Well, I think maybe you
inadvertently.
don't want to step on his toes.
Yeah.
So maybe you have to say something like, well, wait a minute, because I don't want to, like, I don't
Well, I
know.
mean, I say like, are you sure, Tundra? It's really no bother. I could go back down to astrometrics, and I mean,
You feel fire burning into the back of your head.
I
Phaser on the
mean,
lowest setting.
what about?
I actually whip around and I look you in the eye and I say, "Oh, come on. Commander Vivek will show you or will walk you through it. And I just need somebody at this end." And I give you that wink, that angry kind of wink, and I nod towards your chair.
So I kind of give Van Gardner just one long kind of look, and I say, just kind of like, I'm just gonna like, I'm twisting the knife while someone has a gun to my head, and I say, well, you have been on the bridge for quite some time. Um, maybe some rest would do you some good.
He's not resting,
He
Ensign.
he opens his mouth, but he feels which way the wind is blowing, and that's towards the turbo shafts. So like he leaves, and so like your last shot of him is like him with a brow furrowed, wondering what the hell he did as the turbo lift doors close.
Can I add to that? Can I add to that?
Yeah.
Get me those reports as soon as you can.
Now he's really confused because I ordered him to clean up a message.
Yeah.
So, when I compel a value, I think the mechanic that it has to result in is some kind of complication. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so or just add threat or whatever you want to do, but I don't know what we would call it when he storms out. Like I'm almost imagining that like he's maybe distracting a lot of the crew, like he's complaining, like okay, whatever problem he's been presenting to the ship, it probably magnifies now because he's angry.
Like he's seeing out of orders and management violations all over the place.
Oh, he's going to be sending a long document to Admiral Singh.
Oh yeah, we are under the microscope now. Like we see him kind of like poking his head out around corners, like trying to catch us slipping.
Because he is still your
Maybe,
chief science officer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yes, he is vindictive.
Oh, yes.
Sounds fun.
And we just kind of shoot him off the bridge.
Yeah. For an ensign. For an
like.
ensign.
I'm still with them, right?
You're still on the bridge, yeah.
Yeah, you are a bridge brought back to the whole point of that meeting was to yell at you and tell you you are active bridge officers again.
Okay. While all of them are talking, could Eversort just try to ignore everything and just focus on the job by doing the same sensor analysis he did back on the planet? He just hands over the results to Sora like last time.
Yeah, I think I'm the one who has the who's in his crosshairs because I figured I compelled the value, and also I'm kind of the one who's replacing with the stations. So,
Yeah. No,
what is
I think
the
Ever's like on the wall is what he's saying, like already running this. So while you guys are dealing with that, Ever, let's do reason science. So that's a 15 or better with no focus. Difficulty is just 1, I think, to get the at least a line of bearing
Well, can I feel like I should kind of like I have the focuses and the station
Yeah,
to do the
but-
roll, right?
You guys are doing that stuff at the science station. I think Eversol's just doing this while that's going on.
Yeah.
What is Eversoul doing that we are not? Oh, you said sensors?
Yeah, mostly cleaning up the message so that it's
Oh,
easier for
okay.
you to analyze.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So maybe creating an advantage?
Yeah, perfect. So still give me that reason science. Difficulty is 2, and that'll create an advantage.
Okay. Oh, I think I made a problem.
No, you did not. So normally you only get a problem on 20. If somebody is assisting you, it goes to 19. If 2 people assist you, it goes to 18. It's called increasing the complication range.
If
Okay,
the
so
ship
I
assists
succeed,
you,
right?
though, doesn't it?
Oh,
that,
right.
That depends on whether
I
you get
don't
a ship
think the
die.
ship assisting gives you that complication. I could have sworn I read that somewhere.
You know,
but
I
might
don't-
be wrong.
I
It
don't-
feels weird that it would.
It
yeah.
feels weird that it
No.
would, so we won't do that going forward. All right, so
Whatever.
the ship assisting is going to be using, if you're just cleaning up the message, we'll say computers science. So that's 11 or better. No. All right, so you do not clean up the message any there. It's too distracting to hear them.
I
Trying
thought
to-
I only needed one.
You
Uh,
needed 2.
2 for the create advantage, 1 to do Tessora's job for her.
Oh.
So, Tessora, kind of the same thing to you then, which is difficulty is only 1, and it should be reason and science to figure out where it's coming from.
Okay. Is Vivek assisting me?
Oh, yes. Vivek, let's do... I can't see any reason why it would be anything other than reason science, honestly.
Okay.
Do I get a focus for astronavigation?
Yeah.
Or actually, wait, what are we trying to do?
Yeah, you're trying to figure out in the super degraded message where exactly it's coming from.
Oh yeah, that seems astronavigation.
So I imagine that, like under normal circumstances, the coordinates would be embedded in the message, especially if it's a priority 1 distress call. But
Yeah,
also, at the very least, you should be able to get a line of bearing from where it was transmitted.
Yeah, I feel like between astronavigation and mathematics,
Yes.
it's like I have at least one focus. Okay, so I will go ahead and roll. Ooh, wait, what was I trying to roll under?
Reason science, so 14.
Oh, that's 2 successes.
That is 2 successes. And you only needed 1.
I didn't see, but I didn't fail either.
And
then
computer
ship roll.
science.
Ooh, baby.
Okay. Oh, no, the ship always has a focus in whatever it's doing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Okie doke. Oh. Ship science is only 1. Okay, so yeah, it's actually coming from the V's system.
I say to Vivek, I say, you are missing quite the show up here.
I wouldn't say I'm missing it, Bob.
Do you tell me?
Yes. Yes, Captain, it's coming from the Tillamook system.
V's system.
Or
Tillamook's the
V
ship.
system, yeah. Yeah.
Ensign, to the V system, maximum warp.
I say, of course, Captain, and kick it.
Yeah. You can get there in about 8 hours.
Oh,
But, I mean, you're already on your way there, so...
okay.
I mean, we're probably working on cruising speed. We're now on maximum warp speed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody want to do anything sort of in this little gap between this scene and when you arrive in the V system?
I would like to talk to Commander Tanjat in my ready room at some point.
Go for it.
Uh, Commander, would you join me in my ready room?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I look around, and even though Lieutenant Commander Eversole is the highest ranked bridge officer, is there some lonely lieutenant on the bridge?
There's Lieutenant Bomox, but I feel like he usually takes the shifts where you aren't on duty.
Okay, is there an ensign? Anyway, I'll make it a point to say someone else who shouldn't have command right now is in command.
Okay,
While we're both.
then yes, whoever that is, I guess there's another ensign. There was an ensign that was already on helm. Like
I know we have Lieutenant Gann still.
she's in engineering.
Oh, okay.
Whoever this ensign
so it's an ensign pilot, and she like spins around, like her brow furrows, and she looks at the big chair.
And I'll leave.
Episode just sighs after the captain leaves and just continues working without stopping.
I say, if you get any surprise boarders, make sure you sound the alert. And then I go and I feel like I don't want to risk it because I haven't been told I'm not supposed to or that I'm supposed to stop. And I'm like, yeah, I've got some EPS conduits to wipe down.
All right. So meanwhile, on the other side of the door,
Commander Tanjat.
Yes, Cap.
So, I have reinstated bridge privileges to our two troublemakers.
We heard.
I'll raise an eyebrow and then just kind of go, yes, I imagine you did. They are going to be under a tight microscope, but I believe that it shouldn't be mine. After all, I put you in charge of personnel on day 1 on this ship. So, I don't want this to seem like a babysitting gig, but
that's exactly what it is.
it's exactly what it is.
Tanjat, like, deep breath. Yes, ma'am.
That said, you don't have to stop torturing them. I kind of lean back and go, I've been reading your reports, Tanjat, and I have to say, I am pleased with how much the EPS conduits have been cleaned of late, and then also our spider web problem has lessened over the course of this month.
Thank you, ma'am. He kind of like grins, like knowingly. It helps when you've got people to assign such work to.
And then I'll just kind of lean back and say, and I'm also just overall, after our initial problems that we had, especially with after our meeting with Admiral Singh, I must say I have been impressed with you overall, and have put in, like, in my most recent reports, very good things to our to the Admiral.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
Keep up the good work.
Permission to speak freely?
Yes.
I just wanted to say, in working with you over the last couple of months, I do find that there's a lot that we do have in common.
Stranger things have been known to happen than a Cardassian and a Bajoran getting along.
I like look over at the door and look back at you and say, indeed.
Like that
You're-
Vulcan.
Yeah.
You're excused, Commander.
Thank you, Captain. I'll see you at dinner.
Of course.
And, like, nod and go assume my position on the bridge.
Oh man, you guys are getting along way too well. Okay.
It's the sports, man. It's the sports.
Right.
Because we
Well,
beat
I-
the
I-
hell out of each other.
I also kind of see it as now we've like found a common thing to focus our devious attentions on.
Okay. Anything else going on in the next 8 hours?
Not from me.
Okay.
Oh,
Nope, just cleaning EPS conduits.
Then yeah, you guys arrive at the outskirts of the V system, and your sensors pretty much immediately detect the Tillamook. It is in the outer of the two asteroid belts that I don't know if you guys remember. It was a while ago. Okay, so there, V's is kind of sandwiched in between two asteroid belts.
Yeah, we cleared a path through both of them, and they're dangerous.
Correct. It is in the middle of the path, the outermost path. You can't detect a whole lot, but there is a ton of subspace disruption, I guess, around the ship, which is going to make it really hard to use sensors. But
Okay.
it is also not moving, at least not, relative to the rest of the system.
We are all back on the bridge.
did we ever get a clear picture of? Did anybody manage to
Clean that up, any?
clean that up any?
No, you're pretty sure that the entire time that he was down there, he was just shit talking to you guys.
Okay.
I am going to hail.
Normal. No, you know what? It's fine. So yeah, Captain Thazoric pops up on screen. You can see there's burnt out panels behind him, and the lights on the bridge are in emergency mode, like low power mode. He's like,
Captain,
"Oh, Captain Demore, it's good to see you. I wasn't sure anybody had gotten the message."
well, we did, and we made post haste to get here.
I appreciate it. You can probably tell that my ship is in a pretty bad state. I still don't know exactly what's going on, but long range communications are down. I've got 50 to 60% casualties at least. Most of my senior officers were in one location when the explosion happened. They're all missing and presumed dead at this point. I have several sections exposed to the vacuum, and I've got less than 4 hours of life support.
Well, we'll tow you out of the immediate area so we can actually get locks on your life signs, and then do emergency transports off the ship.
I've tried to use the emergency transporter to get the most injured crewmen to God, is the name of the planet Verdak? Do you guys remember? I think it's
I don't
V's.
remember.
I think it's V's 4. Anyways, I've tried to use emergency transporters to get my most injured crew to the planet. Unfortunately, there's some incredible subspace distortion, and the sensors aren't working. Captain, this explosion wasn't internal.
I'll kind of give a nod and say, noted. Yellow alert. We're going to get you out of there, Captain. Hold tight.
Appreciated. Be careful.
Same to you. Shallow breaths, Captain. And then I'll cut.
Okay.
So like we can see through like a series of cameras from the outside of the ship,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Okay. So since sensors aren't working,
They aren't working in that specific area.
okay. Okay.
What about probes?
Oh shit. Mines.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I was. I want to do camera sweeps. Like I want to.
Sensors have the same as scanners, right?
Yes, sensors and scanners are the same thing.
Yeah, he
I
said,
said
camera.
Like he's literally eyeballing things.
Yeah. Go ahead and Tunjut. I guess control security.
Can I give an assist?
Yes.
And I
Tanja,
like
your focus and strategy applies here. And,
Okay.
Captain Demore. How are you assisting?
Like less the cameras and more just thinking about where I would place things. Like if I were to be laying a trap, how I would do it, and then maybe we can focus in on those specific areas in the space.
Okay, so then let's do insight security for yours, which is 14, and shipboard tax systems.
Oh, I forgot to. Okay, so when you're leveling up, you can spend. We all had. I could basically spend all 5 episodes to boost a discipline.
Yes, or an
Yes.
attribute.
Okay, because I was intending to boost my security skill to 5. There we go.
Okay. So Tanja rolls 2 dice for control security, which is 15. Double success on a 5. Demore rolls insight security, which is 14. Double success also on a 5. And the ship, which I should really just stop closing.
All right. So
Do you
here's
want?
my
What's the
roll.
difficulty?
Oh, right. The difficulty is 5.
Oh,
Did we lose a momentum from our scene transition?
Yes, you did.
I mean, would you be okay with us using a momentum post roll because you didn't give us the difficulty yet?
I feel like once the dice are out there, they're out there.
Okay. Well, that's 3 there.
That is 3 successes.
why
And a
does it
random
say
plus 4.
Yeah, what is that?
That's 4 successes.
And then the ship. Probably sensor security, so 13. There you go. There's 5. Yeah. So they are cloaked, but there is, I guess, sort of that visual disruption. Obviously the cloaking isn't as perfect as a shipboard cloak that you would see on like a Romulan or Klingon warship, So there is a noticeable visual distortion, and especially with the asteroids moving in the background, you're able to kind of pick up this where these cloaks are active. So you can't plot exactly where they are, at least not, you know, visually, especially because you can't be sure if they're moving or not. But you confirm the presence of mines in the area.
Can I spend a momentum to get the path that the ship went in?
Um,
Because if we're gonna
uh,
tow them out, I'd like to know, like maybe we could follow.
I'm gonna say
Backtrack.
no.
No, okay.
You can't get it from their computers. The ship is obviously like it had some inertia that it had to. So like the explosion spun it around and things. So you can't really figure out exactly how it came in there.
Okay. Vivek, Tesora, Eversoul, we have a bunch of cloaked mines out there. Would you care to illuminate them for us?
Let me see if I can find a way to highlight their frequency on our sensors.
Yeah, is that a thing that we can do?
I mean, there are different ways to break cloaks, depending on how difficult they are. This one would be a difficulty 3.
Would my decryption focus apply to, like, what is a cloak?
Okay. Kyle, will you mute when you do that?
Yeah.
James,
I'm sorry. Yeah. So, I mean, the easiest way to break a cloak, a cloak is it's an additional piece of technology that sort of like visually and electromagnetically masks the presence of something.
Okay, visually and electromagnetically.
Yes. So obviously the thing is still there. It doesn't slip into a pocket dimension or something, but it
Right.
is effectively invisible. So the best, depending on, so like for a ship, cloaks can be broken sometimes by detecting either the particles that the cloaking device itself gives off, to at least Coco. Shut the. Okay. So yeah. So you can use. So you can detect cloaked ships often by either their own exhaust or the particles that the cloaking device itself gives off. Like in one of the movies, there's a Klingon ship that is actually able to fire while cloaked, and they defeat it by modifying a torpedo to figure out like where the exhaust is and home in on that.
Can I make an estimate about how many mines might be out there and how far afield they might be spread?
That would be more of a tactical and less of a
Science. Yeah.
science.
Okay. Well, so other than juicing, like techno babbling at the computer, and just okay, like first of all, is that a good approach? Just like say, I'm going to turn up the sensitivity on XYZ and make a science roll?
Well, okay, so let me finish because
Okay.
The other option when it comes to cloaks is they can usually be disrupted by certain types of energy. So like historically, it's kind of famously once there was a Klingons were having a civil war, and one side was being supported clandestinely by the Romulans, and the Federation actually set up a net of ships that were like firing tachyon beams at each other. And when the Romulan ships tried to slip through, the tachyon beams disrupted their cloaks. So there's a way to like kind of put energy out there that temporarily, at least,
Yeah.
disables the mine cloaks.
So yeah, one way to do it would be, and I think we've even tried this before in a different game, is like get all of our probes out there to sort of create a small scale version of that. The other thought I had was, if we can just find one of these mines and maybe disarm it and then transport it aboard, we could study the mechanism and like get to know this thing inside and out.
This is true.
But my suggestion would be to disarm that thing like in a spacewalk, you know what I mean? Or like take a shuttle and like, do not bring that thing near the ship until we've got it disarmed out in space, which is also a pretty risky endeavor. But I don't know how that compares to the idea of pulsing the warp, pulsing the shield out and trying to create a disruption that way. The one risk I see there is if we interact with these minds kind of kinetically, might we push them into each other and create a chain reaction,
Yeah.
I just want you to illuminate them.
Well, I don't know what that means.
Yep.
Like out of character. Like
Show us where they are.
So, while the nerds are all working, Tanjat looks over at the captain. And is like, minefields are fairly useless in space like this.
This would be about the only time that a minefield would work.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah. So, did the minefield? What is the minefield guarding? Is the minefield guarding them?
I believe we have another player in our midst. I have a sneaking suspicion of who it is. That said, while they are trying to figure out the minefield, I want you to try to find any cloaked ships in the area.
so.
Yeah,
What are Vivek's thoughts?
I think we should do the small net with probes.
Okay.
Or is there a way we could do it like with us? Yeah, I don't think the if you wanted to call it the cheese ship, the Tillamook, probably couldn't. We could, we just.
They have no power,
Yeah, that's what
and
I'm
their
saying,
life
yeah.
support is steadily creeping away.
Okay,
Yeah, so-
then why don't you do the probes and I can maybe try to assist by creating some sort of algorithm that helps these probes stay in formation. Like there's a geometrical component to this, right? To creating this net.
Sure.
Yeah, so I'll say I can help with like the geometry of the mini tachyon net using mathematics.
Okay. Vivek, this is going to be, of course, control engineering. Difficulty is 3. Focus. I don't actually see a focus that applies, since we're modifying the probes themselves.
Yeah.
And then Tesora, you are going to
Hopefully reason science.
I was going to say control science, actually.
Okay, sure. Control science.
And mathematics applies here. So it's 2 dice from Vivek at 17 or
Wait,
less.
you said difficulty 3?
Yes.
We might want to do a momentum here. What do you think?
Yeah. Let's throw in the momentum. So I'll do 3.
Okay. Oh.
Oh,
God
shize.
Damn it.
2 complications.
Yeah.
And we can't. Do you have determination? Can you re-roll?
I
Yeah.
would do.
Machines make sense. This is my value. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
This isn't right. I'm gonna try this again.
That's wise.
Yeah. So do I re-roll the third one too, or just 2?
Reroll all the dice in the pool.
Much better.
That's much better.
Okay, so there's your 3. Tesora, go ahead. 4,
Hey.
5. And then the ship is going to do, I think, sensor security, actually. So 13.
Reroll that.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, no, that didn't land in the box. James, really, please. Why is that die not rolling? There it goes.
Oh my god. That's still a complication, right?
Yeah.
What the WTF dice? WTF?
Okay.
We can't do anything with
Hit a mine.
Yeah,
momentum to.
I think what happens is like we accidentally like bump one of the mines, and then I'm like Vivek, that mine's starting to drift over into that other mine. We have to catch it, and like we have to. It's basically like a billiard situation where we're trying to stop one mine from chain reacting to the other ones, and we're both increasingly like playing ping pong with this moving field, trying to stop it from whatchamacallit, like setting off that chain reaction.
I
Sounds terrifying. So
yeah.
no.
No?
I think.
I mean,
You know what? Here's
can
the
resolve
complication.
That. Like,
The
that doesn't have to be the complication, but I just meant for our interaction with Vivek. Like, that's what it's a very frantic scene between the two of us before we get it under control.
Okay, I do like that, but I think the complication is, that you notice sort of with your geometrical analysis that they are keeping a consistent distance between each other, but are moving in sort of an unpredictable or randomly generated pattern. But like I said, since they're keeping a consistent distance between them, it's actually the distance between them is narrower than the ship is wide. So you're gonna have to be really, really careful about going in there, because like you can kind of angle your ship and maybe slip through, but I think it's going to be we'll call it a tight net or tight knit.
Yeah. I like it.
I think the only way we're getting through there might be with a shuttle.
Shuttle doesn't have the necessary mass to be able to tow them out of there.
All right, go ahead and do your co-op scene there, guys.
Right. So we're. No. Okay, so this I should put this one to the left. No, this one. Okay,
No,
that one
you're
over
gonna
there.
collide into that one. Oh,
Over here. Okay. Okay, there we go. Like a nice diamond. Shine like a diamond.
and yeah, okay. We kind of and that's kind of when we noticed that, like, oh, Vivek, are you seeing this?
Yes, sir.
I think they're all moving.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, stationary mines in space would be kind of weird anyway. So.
Tanjat? Were you hunting for cloaked ships?
You're muted there, James, because of the sucking sounds.
Yes.
All right. I mean, I think this is probably going to be the same thing, except you don't have the benefit of having the net out there. So how exactly are you hunting for the cloaked ship? Or let me ask you this first: are you active or passive? Passive meaning trying to find them in the sensor clutter that is coming in, and then active is using some sort of shipboard device to put energy out there in an attempt to disrupt the cloak.
Probably active.
Okay. You could probably use the phasers at a low amplitude, and sweep it through certain areas, but you couldn't do the whole system like that.
Okay, well then I want to do like I want to make like a list of likely targets. Kind of want to like search the entire area on camera. You know, probably using some of the data or what I witnessed, looking for the. I want to look for where I would tactically hide.
I mean, you can draw up that list pretty easily, but there's no way you would find a ship with a decent cloak on camera.
And then once I've got that list, I'm gonna start doing the phaser thing.
Okay. So then, yeah, control security, and we'll use your unconventional warfare focus. And
That
Why am I
works.
not rolling this? Actually, hey, can I do something first, James?
Okay.
I would like to roll to create an advantage for him.
lovely.
To find, and so I'm doing the thing where I would spot where they'd be hiding, and then he can do the laser thing.
Okay.
And just to throw this in there, I think Eversol did say he was on sensors, right? So he could assist in one of these roles.
Yeah.
Could I?
Absolutely.
Yeah. But let's start with what's the creating advantage is only 2, right?
Yes, creating an advantage is a flat 2. And so
what is this?
if you're literally just trying to figure out locations where a cloaked ship would be likely to hide, I would call that insight security, and a focus in, I guess, infiltration would
Okay.
would help.
So 14 and 5.
14 and
What about
5. Yes.
So that's 3.
Yes. So you got an extra, and you have sort of the list of likely locations, which he's going to use right now, so I'm not going to bother like writing the exact name, but you pass that advantage along to Tanjat.
There we go.
So now Tanjat, yours is control security. Normally, I was going to say it was difficulty 4, but now it's a difficulty 3 because you have the list. Control security, unconventional warfare definitely applies. So that's a double success on a 5 or better. And then Eversoul, you're on sensors.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do control science, which is 16 or better, but no focus.
And then I am going to use a momentum.
Okay.
And that what gets me an automatic double success, right?
No, that gets you an extra die. The determination is what gets you the double success.
Aha. Okay. So it's a difficulty 3?
Yes.
3, and you have 1 success.
Alright. So 5's double on 15 double on 5's.
1. So you had
4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.
Can we ask a question?
You can. Let me roll for the ship first. We're going to use weapons security, so that's a 14. Boom. Okay.
So 6 successes.
6 successes. So you use the phaser arrays, which I don't know if you guys can picture, but it's sort of like a strip that follows the contours of the hull. And this kind of gives you, I think it's usually like a 270-degree field of fire. And so, sort of in rapid succession, you see the power on the phaser strip kind of spin around the length of the phaser strip, and phaser beams fire off in like 5 or 6 different spots from the ship, and the beams reach out into different areas of the asteroid field and kind of a couple other like spots in space where you'd expect a cloaked ship to be hiding, but they all just kind of continue on and dissipate. None of them impact with a cloaked vessel.
Cool.
Hmm.
Well, that was useful, if just to get all that momentum.
Yeah, that was very useful.
Could I still ask the question?
Yeah.
On my sensor analysis, do I pick up an alien or a faction from those mines?
Oh.
That's a good question.
That is a good question, but it's not really tied to the role enough, because the role was to find cloaked ships.
I was okay.
But that is probably something that you guys should try and determine.
Well, that's where going out and disarming one and bringing it back aboard would come in, I think. Unless we wanted to just
Or we could make
peek
another
at it
sensor roll.
very closely with a probe.
Not sure.
Well,
if I
for
could
now, I'm worried about getting those guys the heck out of there.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
especially
let's,
because you guys have already burned like at least an hour with your modifying probes and launching them out, and kind of
Yeah.
Um,
I
could
would.
we? Sorry,
Lieutenant,
go ahead.
Lieutenant, or Ensign, sorry, not Lieutenant anymore. Ensign, you have that snazzy neural net. Would you please get us into range of the ship so we can tow them out of there?
May I? I will try my best, Captain. May I suggest perhaps sending out one of our shuttles to act as a well, okay, out of character. Can our shuttles, do they have enough of a tractor beam to repel a mine? Like if we're getting a little bit too close, can they go in and maybe like bump one away to sort of like play sweeper as we pass through?
yes, but you have no
quite
way of
afraid-
knowing if that would detonate the mine.
Yeah, I'm afraid it would detonate the mine. I don't want to risk that.
So it's just going to have to be like just straight up stunt flying through these things, right?
Yeah, we can have our shields up when we get in there, but I assume we can't have our shields up with the tractor beam. I don't remember if that's a thing.
You cannot have your shields unless you extend the shields rather around whatever you're tractoring, but that does weaken the shields.
And that is a huge ship. What class is it?
It's Nova class, so
Okay, then it's not that big.
It's about the same size as you guys though, so you're not going to
Yeah.
be able to move very quickly, and
But for now, get us in there so we can emergency transport. If we might even start getting life signs if we pull on closer, and then we can emergency transport people. I just wanted us to get in there.
Okay. What's the difficulty to pilot through this?
let me. Sorry, I was looking. Yeah, so it's the Tillamook is a scale 3 ship. You guys are a scale 4 ship, so you are a little bit bigger than it. All right. Notes. One wrong move. Do. Daring Con difficulty 4 because they're so close together. That's including the tight knit cluster. So it's difficulty 3 plus 1 for the complication.
Oh boy, I can't make an argument for control con. It's not really
No.
battle flying.
No, this is definitely daring.
Whoa. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing a value that I can tap here. I'm looking at my values, and I don't see something that I could make an argument. So I'm just raw dogging this roll, man.
Yeah,
You said maybe momentum. What's your con? Whatchamacallit, James?
3,
And your daring?
10.
10-3. So you're rolling a 13. I'd be rolling a 13. Okay, all right.
He does have the composure focus, which I think
I
is
mean, I
tailor
have
made.
focus. I have helm
Yeah.
operation.
Okay.
But
Maybe
I-
one of you could create an advantage beforehand.
Yeah,
I-
actually, I was gonna ask, can I use the basically I just want to kind of double down on my camera sweeps and like keep looking for uh uh oh, is there a way that I could use like a super could I use the phaser banks to like kind of add
Can you
contrast to the field? Like just super low light pulses basically to like kind of see better shimmers from the cloaks.
That's
I'm just going to
interesting.
go ahead and say that firing an energy beam of any sort into a minefield is a bad idea, since you specifically have no idea anything about the capabilities of the mines.
And I think maybe the other kind of just balanced thing to keep in mind is like anytime we're creating an advantage, the limiting factor in that is time, and it's been stressed that we don't have much time.
Yeah. Okay. Then I
So
just want
do
to.
you have a
I
value? Do
just.
you have a value you can tap? Because if you could get a straight one, you know what I mean?
Oh, I see what he's saying.
Field tested, Admiral approved,
Ugh.
Or no stranger to violence. I think
or no stranger to violence.
probably isn't. It might be your first time in a spaceship in a minefield, but I bet you it's not your first experience with mines as a concept.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
I mean,
or
I can
navigating
definitely assist the roll.
through a minefield.
Can you use a value as the assistant of a roll, or do you have to be the primary roller?
I think you have to be the primary roller.
Okay, yeah. So if we go with yours, we won't be able to re-roll the ship die,
I mean,
but
that's
you can get the auto one,
Yeah. Honestly,
and
I
we
think
have
that.
momentum to burn.
Yeah. I kind of wonder. I, yeah, Tanjot will as we're going in, and he'll put his hand on your shoulder.
Yeah, you
Like
can definitely see me get visibly
like
nervous.
the Vulcan is sweating with nerves. Like
Yeah, I'm like, okay,
Tanjot like
what do we
calmly
got?
walks over, puts his hand
3,
on your shoulder,
2. Oh, you
and
know what? I
like
better switch this in. Okay,
I
here we go.
I think he
3,
actually
2.
uh uh like command leadership totally comes out in him. So when he does it, it's like totally gentle. There's like kind of maybe a little bit of a like reassuring smile that comes with it. Like doesn't say a word, just motions with his head that he's gonna take the helm on this one.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, Tesora, what station are you at if you're not at con?
What other stations can I help from?
Um, tactical is clear, but I guess that's about it.
Would tactical allow me to do anything with the shields?
Yes.
Can I help with the shields in some way?
I mean, you can extend them over the Tillamook when you get close enough.
What is that part of this role?
No.
not right now.
Okay. Well, for this role, what can I assist with?
I don't think you can.
Yeah, I can't assist in oh
I
my
mean,
god.
Yeah. What else is at the tactical station? Shields, tractor beams, weapons.
Shields, tractor beam, and weapons. What about and then have we exhausted what we can do with sensors?
I might be able to assist. So how about we?
Oh, please do. Yeah.
I am going. Can I just play a super close eye on the sensors and talk him through it? Maybe something like presence security or control security. Just be his second
Ever's
pair
at
of
the
eyes.
sensors, so we'll have him roll that assist. For you as the captain, I think. Actually, I will say that you can. If Ever is also rolling, then you're like coordinating between the two of them, and that is totally like the presence command.
Okay, so Ever's saying there's a mine here, and then the captain's like, bring us up to 119 or
Yeah.
however the fuck that
Yeah.
works.
Well, it's usually an X and a Y coordinate, but yeah.
Cool. We do that, and I do believe he's using one of his values, so we get a.
All right, so he's using his determination. So there's the automatic 1.
Momentum.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a momentum as well.
Okay.
And so what is that now? A 2?
Wait, what?
It was originally 4, and then so
difficulty is 4. You have 2 successes, and he's rolling 3 dice.
Yeah.
1 complication.
4, 5, 6, 7. So you're up to 7 successes and a complication. And then Eversoul, why don't you roll yours next? Luke.
Colin, I spent that momentum.
Yeah, I know. That's why I threw it back in.
Okay.
All right. So Eversoul, you're on sensors. So that's control science again.
Okay. Just one, right?
Just one. All right. So yeah, you're up to 8 successes.
On
7
this
successes.
sensor roll, would I
1,
be
2,
able
3,
to-
4, 5, 6, 7. I'm sorry.
On this sensor roll, would I be able to check the fashion those mines they belong to?
I'm just gonna say, as long as they're cloaked, you're not gonna be able to tell that. You're gonna have to get into the guts.
All right, and then mine is what we never was it control or was it presence?
Presence command.
So that's a 15 and a 4.
Yes. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 successes. You only needed 4, so you have 4 momentum, or that I guess your momentum pool is now maxed out.
But we can do things with those leftover momentum right now.
Yes, like say
create advantages.
Create advantage.
Like trail of breadcrumbs.
Ooh.
And that costs 2 momentum to do that?
Yes.
So how many do we have left?
Okay, well, let me get rid of that one. Okay. So, what did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have 2 more momentum.
After we do that?
After you do that.
Well, we might as well use them considering it's going to max. We're going to lose 1 anyway. So the mathematical formula would be better if we... How about for this time, well-oiled machine instead of not wrenching the works?
Yeah, we seem to be working pretty good together this go around.
Okay. Yeah, so it gets hairy at one point, but you turn the axis that the ship is on and kind of slip through the spot in between the mines. And you get close enough to the Tillamook to extend your shields and tractor beam. So the tractor beam has a power requirement of 1, I believe.
I believe you are right.
That is not the area I need to be looking at. All right, so tractor beam is 1. So your power is down to 10. Your shields, instead of giving a power requirement, your shields max are 13. I'm gonna say extending it over the other ship diminishes them to 7, so that's slightly less than half because it's
Okay.
covering slightly less than double the intended.
Works for me.
Okay.
And all right, Contract, get us out of here.
Will do.
So we're currently sitting at a 2 now, right?
Trail of breadcrumbs cancels out tight knit cluster, so that's 3, and then yeah, difficulty is 2 because of well-oiled machine.
Okay.
But
still
I think
gonna
we
spend
do
the
the
momentum.
same thing on the way back too.
With everybody contributing.
Maybe just Ev this time because I don't want to lower our thing down too far.
Okay.
Do you need me to roll again or later?
Yeah, go ahead and roll. Just one.
3.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
3, 4. All right. So you actually gain 2 momentum back. And so you pass back through the way you came, so you're now on the outside of the asteroid, the outer asteroid belt.
Eversol, I believe you will be needed in the infirmary.
I have already set the sensors. I hope you don't need me while I'm there then. And he'll start leaving to the sorry, permatube? How do you call the elevator?
Turbo lift.
Turbo lift, sorry.
The turbo lift goes up and down the turbo shaft.
Tanjat, I
Yeah,
think,
it does.
stands up and says, Ensign, helm is yours.
Captain, stand by for transports. Vivek, please report to the transporter room and begin emergency transports.
Can do.
All right, there are 2 transporters on board your ship. There's also a cargo transporter that can be converted to like the molecular density that or resolution that's required for emergency transportation of a life form. I'm gonna say you're kind of like coordinating all of this, so we're gonna use your presence engineering.
Okay.
I am not looking at the right sheet. All right, presence engineering, but transporters and replicators definitely applies. So you're at what? 7 plus 5 is 13?
12.
12?
Yeah.
Yeah. Double success on a 5. And the difficulty, I mean, everybody knows their job, so I think the difficulty is just 1.
I'm still gonna add one die because
You got the big pool there?
And better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
And we get it back, and then some.
I think you just get it back. Oh, yeah, no, and then some. Okay. Yeah. So the transporters start, and normal complement on a Nova. Anybody know that offhand?
Not offhand, but I will.
Gee, that's on Final Jeopardy last night.
Yeah,
It's
right.
actually less. It's less than Intrepid. I'll look it up.
I got the tech specs up right here. Hold on.
Okay.
15 officers, 65 enlisted crew. About half were.
It says crew complement 78 total.
Okay. So, so I'm gonna say 78 total, give or take. 20 are dead, so 70, 60, 50, 58, and of that 58, almost 30 of them are in some way injured.
What about the senior staff?
What senior
They're
staff?
mostly dead.
the
just the cat
the ambassador was hosting or they're hosting a reception for the ambassador, and the mine detonated just on the other side of the hull from the room that they were hosting that in. So the ambassador is dead, as is basically every ranking officer except for the captain. Like, there's a couple of ensigns and maybe a lieutenant, but certainly nobody over the rank of lieutenant is still alive.
Hey, we got a science officer for him.
Never put all your bridge crew in one shuttlecraft.
Oh god. Okay. So Ever, you've got a staff. It's not a huge staff, but you have a staff. So, I think this is going.
Can he cast magic missile?
To the darkness.
All right. So this is going to be a presence medicine, as you sort of. It's called triage.
Okay.
As you sort of direct. Okay, you've just got a broken arm. Go stand over there for a little while. You also probably have a cargo bay, or maybe a holodeck that is being used now as a sort of a holding area, because all of these people cannot fit in your little 3-bed infirmary.
Can we use our magic holodeck people to have some extra triage nurses?
You don't. You didn't pay for the EMH, and I kind of feel like that's what that is.
Okay. I was just thinking our magic. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, they live
Doesn't
there. They
hurt
don't.
to ask.
Yeah. Okay. So presence medicine. That's a 14 or better. Double success on a 5. Focus. Oh, you have triage, Doctor.
I do.
Well, that's exactly what you're doing, Doctor. So go ahead and difficulty is going to be. How many did I say?
58.
50, of that.
30.
Thank you. Almost 30, I think is what I said. So we'll say 28. So let's do this. For every success that you get, you will save the lives of 10 of their injured.
I would like to use a momentum.
Okay?
No, sorry. If I use 3 momentum, I can roll 4 die, right?
Yes.
You guys fine if I use 4?
Absolutely. No,
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna use those
Is-
3
is it-
momentum. And I'm gonna start barking orders. Non-trauma to the left. All those with life-threatening to the right. I need people with assistance over here. So.
I think he saved all of them. Do we get any of those momentum back?
Yeah, I think you get 1 momentum back. Well done.
I also would like to put my value of been there, done that. He is used to this kind of triage.
Well, I mean, that's what you would use to spend your determination, but you don't even need to. Like, this is just
okay.
another day at the office for Eversoul.
Been there.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, all of the injured that didn't die either outright in the explosion or in the course of not getting medical assistance for several hours before you guys arrived, is in what I can go ahead and say is stable condition now. So, excellent job. The captain, I think he just shrugs off anybody who tries to help him and goes up to meet you on the bridge. Permission to come aboard, ma'am.
Permission granted.
He reaches out to shake your hand.
I take it.
Damn lucky that you were also instructed to come here for the treaty, because if it had just been us, it probably would have been months before somebody would have been able to come by. And of course, with subspace communications hampered, I didn't receive any reply from the planet about trying to send us some help.
Well, I'm glad luck was on our side today. How about we speak in the ready room?
He'll nod, and you can either show him or he'll follow you. I guess it doesn't
Uh,
really matter.
I'll kind of guide and say, Tanjat, would you please join us?
I think he does stop, or maybe like his step, there's a little hesitation in it for just a moment as he realizes that Tesora is sitting on the bridge. But if it bothers him, he doesn't let it show on his face.
Making friends, I see.
Well, you have to remember, he was just sitting on her panel, or on her court martial.
Trial.
Yeah, and he didn't. I mean, she didn't convince him very well, although better than the Beta Zed.
So just I'm trying to think if Tesora even has a moment to communicate with the captain. But so the two things on my mind are I still want to go out there and dissect one of these mines.
Oh,
And-
that's coming. That's coming. You'll get your
Okay.
chance. Let's
And
have this
then-
conversation first.
Okay. Yeah, that well then go ahead and have that conversation. Although there is, you kind of sense that Tesora wants to tell you something before you go, but it's not, I guess, urgent. Again, she's very hesitant to act on it.
All right. Tanjat, you coming?
Yeah.
So we step into the ready room. So exactly what happened, Captain?
It was, fairly straightforward. I took myself and some lower ranking bridge crew took this shift so that my first officer could host the party for the ambassador. I hate that sort of thing, and he sort of revels in it. We were traversing the path that you guys had carved out of the asteroid field when all of a sudden there was a large explosion. I had several breaches, and we lost power pretty much instantly. With power down, the turbo lifts were down, so each deck was cut off from each other. Most of our casualties happened in the first 6 hours after that, as injuries went untreated. That's about it. Whatever it was, the explosion happened externally. I was able to before power went out, I was able to use some of the cameras on the external to look at the hull, and there was scorch marks that were kind of indicative of the explosion happening outside of the ship.
Yes, we've discovered that what we thought was the safe passageway has been mined by cloaked mines.
Mined? This is
Indeed.
a backwater planet. Like, who the hell would bother mining their planet?
I have two culprits
Oh?
that I can think of. I look first and say, we have been running into, I can never remember the name of that group. What's the group that we've been running into all the time?
The Rapu Consortium.
We have had problems with the Rapu Consortium on multiple accounts when out here.
I know the name. I've seen their shops on the commerce floor of Tratado Station. I got my wife a dress from that. They actually have some pretty amazing textiles.
They also like to use devious means to do such things like drop tribbles on a agricultural planet, or
He smiles and like chuckles for just a second, and then it dawns on him how exactly terrifying that would be, and he shuts up.
And I wouldn't put it past them to mine the only safe route through this. But there is one other organization that I believe that uses cloaked mines, and as unlikely as it is, it could be the Romulans.
I mean, we've run into a warbird a couple of times in our our passage through the area, but they seem okay. I mean, we do have a non-aggression pact with them now.
I have no idea why it would be the Romulans, but using Occam's razor, it is one of the most plausible choices, considering they're one of the only ones that they're like pretty much the only ones that use cloaked mines, other than that one time that we did.
He smiles a little bit. He's like, I've known the Klingons to use them before too. They once mined the outside of the Bajoran system.
Oh, I forgot about that. I don't know why it would be the Klingons either, but yes, could be 3 then. But my highest bet is the Consortium probably buying either Klingon or Romulan mines. We won't know until we get through that field, and I think I don't want to travel through that field. I do believe we're going to clear another path.
Would it be possible or easier to deactivate the mines rather than find them?
That is absolutely something that can happen, but you need to find the command code for the mines. Whoever placed the mines would probably have this command code that you could just broadcast out and deactivate them remotely.
So we have our people on. We're healing up with your crew, and it looks like you need to get down to the infirmary too. I look him over.
I'll be fine. I have my orders.
And I have mine, and when two people of equal rank are on, I give them, basically there's a Starfleet directive that says the more powerful of the two ships captain is now the captain of the two ships. So I'm actually ordering him to go down to the infirmary.
He gives you a wry little smile. And I think you earned his respect a little bit by doing that. And
James, you're muted.
Can I lean in at this point and just kind of whisper to him, Captain, it's best not to argue with the captain.
So yeah, he'll nod his head and he'll take the turbo shaft down to the infirmary. He just needs, the dermal mender or something. He got thrown out of his chair and cut his forehead.
Yeah, but at the same time.
Yes.
At that point, I'm gonna step out, or Tonjot. I'm like, actually, once he leaves, I'll look at Tonjot and say, "Well, what do you think we should do, Commander?"
Well, if nothing else, I think Ensign Tesora has a solid idea in collecting one of these mines.
I agree, but I'm concerned about the people of the system. Mines usually aren't a good thing for a planet.
I mean, theoretically, they would just burn up on entry.
I'm not talking about the mines themselves. Talking about if someone were to mine a system, usually they don't have good intentions for that system.
No, you're entirely correct about that. But I think if we can narrow down who did this, we might be able to come up with a more solid strategy.
And that's precisely what you and Ensign Tesora will be doing by capturing one of these mines in a shuttlecraft, while Vivek creates a new clear path for us.
Wonderful. I will inform the ensign.
Thank you, Commander.
And then I'll step out onto the bridge and look over at Ensign Tesora and say, Ensign, you're with me.
Right. Let's go.
And I'll call down to Vivek and whoever's the con person on the bridge to begin clearing a new path for us.
Okay.
Okay.
I think this is probably actually a good time to take a break.
I agree.
All right. So, when we come back, we will have those sort of two tasks going simultaneously. This is Star Trek Adventures Pathfinder on the Kobold Cafe, and we will be back in let's say 10 minutes, because that'll be right on the hour.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. And we are back. So let's start with the easier of the two, which is going to be clearing a new path through the asteroid field. However, I have to go back to the first episode to figure out exactly what I had you guys roll for that, because I don't remember.
Make it up.
Or I could just go back.
Okay.
All right. Salvage. Gas cloud. Debris field. Reason plus con difficulty 3. Control plus security difficulty 2 to use the tractor beam to move the large pieces. Control plus con difficulty 1 is to keep the ship safe. I think you guys used the shield to sort of bump things out of the way. So that was also control plus security difficulty 2.
Well, that is me.
I can do that well too. So
Do either of us have a focus that would help with this? Because I have shipboard tax systems. I don't know if that would do it.
Yeah. Yeah, that works.
Mhm.
So then,
So 14-5 for me. Tom, do you want to assist?
yeah, I can assist.
what is that? That's 16, but 1 for you. And the difficulty is 2, I think. Did I say? It was like 3 seconds ago, 2.
Yeah, 2. But I will burn your momentum anyway.
Okay. Oh.
Oh!
my God.
Look at you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, okay. I didn't actually burn that momentum. I only rolled 2.
Oh yeah.
So.
So I can add
that-
2. So you've got 1 momentum that would spill over in the pool.
I will like to create an advantage. Wider path.
Yeah,
Nice.
I like
There
it.
we go.
4-lane highway.
Okay. Right. So now to the harder one. So it's just Tesora and Tanjat?
Tanjat.
If they wanted to bring any other NPCs along, it is up to them.
The only person I could think of would be maybe, you'd be playing both of them, Lieutenant Gann, because she's an engineer. But I'm pretty confident that I can engineer it.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have it, Gan.
We can take Gan. Gan was competent.
And if you want someone to play her, I think I'd be able to do it.
Sure.
Okay. Lieutenant Gann, Tanjat, and Tesora. So you are in a shuttle. So here are the sort of options here, right? So mines are fairly large, so you're not going to. It would be able to fit into a cargo hold or a ship's like shuttle bay, but you cannot get the mine inside of the shuttle.
Okay.
But what you could do if you want to take it apart, without taking it back to the ship, is do so in a spacewalk.
That's what I'm envisioning. I think we'd have to disarm the thing before I would put it in the cargo hold.
Okay. So then, that said, your options are, you can risk using the tractor beam while it's active, but you don't know if that would trigger it or not. You can also
Go ahead.
You can also try and just float close to it.
Could I assist or create an advantage for that mine specifically?
I don't think you're in a position to be able to do so.
From the
Yeah,
ship?
you're busy on the
Oh yeah, you got
the med
tons of
lab.
medical stuff to keep you busy for now.
Oh, I thought those were done. Never mind.
No, you saved the lives. They're still
There's a lot of monitoring.
Okay.
So it's use the tractor beam, but we don't know if that'll trigger a mine or just sort of float closer. And I assume that means risk the ship
Yes.
or risk the shuttle. So here's my question: if we were to test the tractor beam on one of these things, we risk setting off a chain reaction.
No. The mines are, as a rule, it's a bad idea to have mines close enough where they explode.
Okay.
And take each other out, right?
Yeah,
Because you don't want to clear
the minefield.
the whole minefield with one. You want to like leave it as an obstacle there.
Okay. So yeah, why convince me? Like, why wouldn't we just like let's stay far away from that mine and poke it with a tractor beam and see what happens? Is there
Because you have no idea how powerful the explosive is. Like if you hit it with the tractor beam, it could be powerful enough to take you out. I mean, look at it like this. You know,
because the tractor beam has a range,
and on a shuttle, it's not very far.
Oh shit. Okay.
Take us in close, Ensign.
Okay. Is there going to be a piloting role to be done here anyway?
There is. I think it's going to be Control Con.
Okay.
And the reason I use Control and not Daring is these are moving in a non-predictable fashion, right?
Yeah.
So you have to like keep it close, but at the same time, like when it changes direction, it could very well be changing direction towards you.
That's the kind of flying I prefer anyway. Daring is not my strong suit, whereas Control is, and I can see why flying through a whole field of them is really more a matter of like controlling your adrenaline than your
yes
than the precision. You know what I mean?
But to inch up to the one that's on the outside of the field, and then just sort of maintain distance. Yeah, that's Control Con difficulty 2.
Okay.
And your
Control Con. Yeah, and I have a small craft focus.
Yeah.
Okay, we could do. Does anybody want to? Can they assist?
Anybody who's there could assist. So I guess Tanjad, if you want to assist.
Yeah, I'll assist.
I think probably the same thing for you, Control Con, unless actually, why don't you use Presence Con, which actually is the exact same number, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys handle this.
Right, it shouldn't be too difficult. At least we're not having to fly through the whole field. That was pretty fancy back there, actually.
Oh, nothing to it. It's all in the nerves. That wasn't my first time through a minefield.
Oh, really? So I'm going to go ahead and roll.
All right.
when did you fly through during the war?
Both of them.
Do I know which two wars is he talking about?
So the occupation of Bajor by the Cardassians,
Oh, okay.
and then again, like during the Dominion War, the Cardassians were able to sort of retake Bajor.
Interesting. I'm kind of curious. How old were you when during the occupation?
Well, joined the resistance at like 13.
Wow, I was still at Tranquil Stones.
What is Tranquil Stones?
Oh, I've never. Well, that's where I spent most of my adolescence. It was a boarding school, a dreadful place run by fanatical taskmasters and heretic cultists masquerading as Kolinar gurus. They're it's the kind of place that promises your child will emerge enlightened by the time the university placement tests come around. It's where Vulcan parents send their problem children who can't get their emotions under control.
Wait, did you just say Vulcan problem children? And
What?
then I like pause and look at you like, oh.
You
I
sound
guess
surprised. Or wait, is that sarcasm?
no, it was surprise. But like now that I look at you and well, let's just say some things are making sense.
Yeah, we spent most of the time out in the desert raking sand into neat little rows, and then they'd reward the student whose plot looked the best. But the wind always blew away the rows at random, so it was actually all very arbitrary. Looking back, I suppose they were just trying to teach us some kind of lesson about the inevitability of impermanence. I didn't take it very well.
Yeah, I don't know, they might have a point there. I say as we're flying into a minefield.
Gannon's watching you two nervously.
Does the ship roll?
Oh yeah, the small craft do roll, and I keep meaning to put them in the fantasy grounds because we keep using them, but I don't have them. So let me roll through the starships here.
Well, no, they took it too far, I think. Everything was scheduled, ritualized, measured like clockwork. Seating and bunks were assigned all throughout the years, so you barely got to know all but two people during your time there. Surveillance cameras everywhere, and even the water flow was rationed. Breakfast was 10 bites, lunch was 8, dinner 14.
Yeah. When I was at school, I was dodging phaser blasts.
Was it
It was a steep
very
learning
regimented
curve.
like most militaries are, or was it more improvisational?
Well, I mean, I worked with a number of different units, and they all worked differently. Some a little more regimented than others.
Okay, so the ship, the shuttle did not help, but you got your two just in your roll.
Can we re-roll that?
We got it.
Why? We got it.
Because we could get momentum.
No,
No.
no.
Okay, fine. I meant for the ship. Anyway.
Oh, the ship. I was about to say.
Yeah, because I'm still mind linking.
Oh, right.
Although maybe
You
that's
just-
not the best idea because if we get a breach, yeah, I wasn't thinking of doing determination.
Okay, so yeah, you're able to keep the shuttle within like 100 meters or so.
I think we're in position.
Great. I'll suit up. Gan?
Yes, sir.
You're suiting up too.
Oh. Yes, sir.
I could hear her deflate.
I mean, I can go if you want to stay here. But what's
No, no,
Gan's
no.
plan?
This is an order from the commander. She starts to like go, and she's like, I only get a space sick in 0G occasionally.
I think maybe I should go.
All right, Gan, how do you feel about keeping the shuttle close to the mine?
What would that be?
Control con. 12.
That's a 12.
12. Well, I suppose I can do that. Yeah,
I
that's
would
fine.
frankly feel better about not flying the ship into a mine.
Fine. Go suit up. I'll keep it under control here.
Okay.
All right. So once you guys get suited up, it's just a matter of stepping into the transporter
Okay.
and then, beaming out into vacuum. I imagine that there's some sort of like little thruster pack or something that
There are.
that takes you up close to the mine. Let's talk about this for a second, right? Because the normal way to like attach yourself to a surface would be a magnet. But just like knowing mines as you do Tanjat, a magnet is probably
Yeah.
not the thing that you want to bring up to a mine.
Yeah, no, we're probably using little thruster packs to stay close to it.
Just so when it moves randomly, you're just gonna have to.
What if can they do like mag boots on top of the shuttle, and then I can like
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
hold it in position as a work
There you
platform?
go.
Yeah.
I think that would be an assist roll. Or not an assist
Yeah.
roll.
No, an advantage.
An advantage.
Okay.
Stable footing.
Well, I was gonna have a disadvantage, so as long as you get the 2 successes needed on this piloting roll, it'll
Okay.
wipe that out basically.
Oof. Okay, that's fine.
I mean, you can always use a momentum, and then if we get more than we need, we get them back. But if we don't,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just I'm looking at values and I'm not seeing an obvious one. So I'll use momentum.
Nothing has to be touched. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, so that's like that would be the value I would use if I were up there doing the spacewalk.
Yes.
That's why I was kind of like tempted to go do that, but otherwise, I think I'll just do the momentum.
No, I brought you to fly the ship. I brought Gan to work on the thing.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. 3 rolls against what? What am I doing? Is it another control con?
Control con, yeah.
Okay. So 3 dice against control con. Small craft as a focus. Oh, buddy.
Oh,
buddy boy.
No complications, so we just can't
No
reach.
complications. Now hold on. 13 still makes it, and
that's
the
1.
ship rolls, right?
The ship rolls at a 6 though.
I mean,
Okay,
doesn't hurt.
Can I wait till the ship rolls before I? Okay, so I can re-roll that. Okay, now all that happens here is I don't create the advantage, right?
Yes.
So if I'm really desperate for this, I can maybe try to finagle a determination, but to re-roll the pool. But I think I wonder, are you guys okay to just try this with unsteady footing?
What would
It's
the
a-
difficulty be?
Can I make myself kind of a platform for Gan to work off of?
Sure.
I am really not kidding. Like, I mean, like,
You're like
harness.
holding her.
Yeah, like, buckled the harness together, and I'm using my thruster pack while she works to, like, kind of keep her,
Sure.
near the panel.
Yeah, I think that's still going to be control and con. I guess you don't have to worry about not getting too close. Nah, I think difficulty too.
All right, I will spend a momentum on that.
Yeah.
And can we count this as unconventional warfare?
Composure seems more likely.
Okay.
Yeah, let's...
Oh my god.
Oh, buddy
Oh.
boy.
Just one.
Yeah.
All right, what's the challenge on this?
Uh, what are you doing first?
I mean, she's got to be able to see the thing, so she wants to or she needs to find the panel.
Yeah. How are you
What
finding
would-
the panel?
Scanning it?
Oh yeah, I guess you can use a tricorder. Okay, so we'll start with control science. Difficulty 3 is what I've been using for the cloaks.
Okay. Robotics? Would this?
No.
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 Okay. It's a stretch. I figured I'd ask. Unless nope, not Starship Junior sensors either. Okay, so I'm gonna burn a momentum. Because these two are no help.
Oh my
Oh
god!
my god! Does she blow up?
No.
Okay, she just can't find it. Sir, I'm not finding the patch anywhere.
Well, we need to keep on it.
Sir, maybe if the shuttle were to shoot or not shoot, hit it with a ionic or something, technobabble.
You could
thing,
release ion discharge from the warp nacelles and
cells,
yeah,
it
whatever.
would be able to make it so the mine would decloak.
All right, Sora, did you get any of that?
Oh yeah, totally. Loud and clear.
All right, go do it.
Reason science, would that do it?
Reasons to figure something out. So I think it's control science,
Okay.
but your
control
small
science.
crafts focus applies.
Okay.
Yeah, I think while Gan is techno-babbling it to Sora,
You know what? It's
Sora's
control
like,
engineering.
Okay, fine. Control engineering, small crafts. And what's the difficulty?
I think just one.
Okay. Cool. And what am I doing? Like, am I creating an advantage?
Yes.
Okay. Boy.
There we
There's your
go.
one. Okay, so the advantage is
Can we do the ship roll?
oh yeah. Oh,
Hey!
Yeah, boy.
all right. So yeah, the advantage is what is the advantage? It's how about wavering? Yeah, right. Wavering cloak. So yeah, it sort of shimmers in and out of view, but it lets you see the hull for the first time.
Oh, there it is, sir. I see it right there.
All right. So now you know where it is.
You want to try to guide her in again there, James?
Yeah, I'll give that a shot. I'll go get her close to it. You want control con again?
Yep.
2 again.
Yeah.
God damn it!
What the shit?
You know what's funny is like there's a very narrow window in between success and complication that somehow you've managed to hit consistently.
Thankfully.
All right, so Gan, you're not complicated by the cloak anymore, but you still have to pop a panel off of an active mine. That's moving. You don't have a stable platform. So,
Actually, you want me to do the fitness thing?
Fitness thing.
Pop in that panel, like nimbly and
Are
dexterously.
you gonna Fonz it?
Sir, I was hoping to get in via the system.
Okay. Okay.
So
Nice.
it's
She wants to try to kind of hack it,
Yeah,
maybe?
under no circumstances, Tom, should you be trying to pry that thing open.
Yeah, she wants to hack it and
This
pop
is
it.
not the time for percussive maintenance.
all right. Yeah. So you've got like some sort of like little probe that you still have to make contact with it. It doesn't have a.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you like use your probe or something. So I mean it's still difficulty 2. It was 3 with the cloak, so 2 difficulty 2.
I mean, we're gonna need those momentum, so I'm just gonna roll it. What would this be? Insight engineering?
No, insight is dealing with creatures. So
Oh, that's right.
Reason security.
Okay. Reason security.
Yeah.
Drat. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Can I assist with that?
Yes.
Okay.
So failure, just so you guys are aware of the stakes here, right? A failure is going to trigger some sort of like a failsafe self-destruct.
Okay, using
That-
momentum.
That would be on a timer. One complication would make that timer basically like an imminent threat, and 2 complications or more is like just outright detonation.
All right.
Hold on. So before we hit the go button, Tanjot, Tanjot will radio to Sora. So we are about to hack this thing. Would you get an emergency beam lock on, ready to go, and then plot a course to get out of here pretty quick?
Control engineering.
You sound so confident.
Oh no, I have full confidence in Gan. He like squeezes Gan's shoulder just a little bit.
Is there okay? Is there a space suit here?
Yes.
Can I put on a space suit? Would that take too much time?
If they want to
Yes.
wait.
Just
mean,
in case.
It would also be pointless.
If you all get knocked out somehow and I have to go out there and drag you in physically, like
Usually
I think that's about the last thing that you have to worry about. If this mine goes
Yeah.
off,
okay, all right,
Yeah,
fine.
there is no worries. That's why we're getting the teleporter ready.
Okay, fine. So what am I doing? I'm plotting a course out of here.
no, you're getting a teleporter lock on them, which is
Oh,
control
okay.
engineering.
Control engineering.
Mhm.
Well, those are pretty good scores for me. So I can get
Difficulty
under a
is
14.
2.
Oh, buddy. Okay. Momentum chits have already been used by them, so I'm gonna go ahead and use a momentum as well.
Okay.
Ship roll.
What the shit is going
Hold
on?
on. What is the ship rolling for this? The ship is rolling sensors, which is 5. Engineering, which is 1, so also 6. Okay. Oh.
Re-roll that.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Wait, it didn't land in the thing.
Oh, it didn't land in the thing. Oh,
What was it?
it was a 2.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Oh
what is
no!
happening?
And then the next one is a
Please.
20. What the hell is going on?
Oh, come on.
Let us have the 2.
Okay,
I'll take
wait,
that one.
which one am I counting here?
The 2. I don't know why it didn't end up in there, and the first 20 didn't either.
Okay.
Oh, it's because it hit the side, I guess?
Weird. But she did it?
I have a teleporter lock.
Okay.
Yes, you have a teleporter lock on both of them.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2. Better not screw. Yes! She did it! Oh!
Now watch him get 2 complications.
Oh, she
Oh, yeah.
pops it.
Well,
Yeah. Tanjat's still gonna roll.
Tanjat still has to roll.
Oh, right.
Mother.
So the timer's going off.
Unless Tanjat's using determination.
Please use a determination.
Oh, no, wait, he doesn't have any.
Did you already use it?
He used it going through the minefield. Okay.
I mean, unless you can... so she's got a timed to shut this thing down now?
Yeah. So your options are this. It's gonna go off. So your options are to get it on the next roll or die.
Okay.
Commander, get out of here. I can do this.
I'm not leaving you.
What's a red shirt? Red shirt.
Yeah, this is why I wanted a spacesuit.
She's just doing it. She's doing it.
Wait.
Commander, get out of here.
I mean, of course you're doing it, but I want to think about the roll. If there's any way that I can assist or something like that, you know what I mean?
I don't think so. Like, you have to. She's working physically on the mine.
What's the difficulty?
Same as I had to roll last time, a 2.
A 2? Oh, reason security again?
Yeah.
Not engineering at this point?
No, it's still security to defuse a bomb.
Okay, spending a thing again. Sorry,
Can-
guys, I'm eating
Can
up
I
all
use a determination to, if I assist with presence command?
Only the primary roller can use, but you can use presence command.
I
Or
can only
Presence
okay.
security is actually probably what it should be.
Well, oh
Yes!
my god.
There it is.
Oh my god.
Yes!
All right, so there's your 2. So yeah, so Gan reaches in, or I guess, like there's a color coded light on the outside of this panel that's flush with the outside of the mine, and it goes from red to green, and she quickly goes over and rips it open almost, and goes in and hits a couple of buttons on the touchscreen inside, and you can see there's a little spinning thing, and every time it does a revolution, one more light lights up, and there's one light left.
And then Tanjat will grip Gan's shoulder just a little too tightly,
Ah!
and is just saying, "I never doubted you." And there's just a bead of sweat rolling down his forehead.
I've got a bead of sweat rolling down my forehead.
So, yeah,
The mine has been defused. Could you please teleport us back on?
right. Okay. Yeah, my finger was hovering over the teleport Gan and teleport Tanjat buttons like that meme macro. Go. Okay, fine. Yeah, is there anything else to roll to get them teleported on, or am I good?
No, you're fine. You already had that teleporter
Okay.
lock, so it's just
Cool.
telling the computer to go. I'm not even gonna make you roll to tow it back into the ship, mostly because I've already like I feel like that was enough tension
Yeah,
for the
that
time
was like,
being.
oh, wow.
Also, we did it on the edge of the minefield.
Oh,
So
Just,
close.
another day at the office.
what were the chances of that? 11 out of
Not
20 on
good,
2
like,
dice.
Every single no, I mean, also it was 25%.
It has been the only time we have rolled like that in the whole season.
Like, yeah, this has been like every the roll after roll after roll of just
Yeah.
shit.
I think it was less than 25%.
Mhm.
Well, on 2 dice it's 25% because 50
Yeah.
divided by 50 is 25.
I guess it was slightly better than 25% because you had to do it on 3 dice and it was 11 out of.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, all right. So now in the hangar bay of of the Percival, you have a mine.
And Gan like breathing into a bag in the corner.
Captain, we've returned with the mine.
Excellent. Good work.
Um,
Vivek, would you join them in figuring that out? Tanjat, I would like you back on the bridge. We are heading into the system to figure out what's going on.
I ma'am. And then I look over at Gan and like, I owe you a drink.
You owe me 4 drinks.
I think we owe you a shot at science officer.
No thanks.
No, thank you. I like my
It-
robots.
It's much like the defense against the dark arts position.
No, it was worth a shot.
Okay. Yeah, so Vivek and Tesora?
What are we doing? Oh, dissecting the thing?
Yeah, I mean, you want to know who made it, right?
Yeah, I'm not like taking it apart. I just want to know like what species made it.
And
Oh.
maybe who reprogrammed it. You can get all kinds of things off mines.
hmm
Yeah. All right. So, but you're not opening it up. Is that what you said?
I'm trying to get whatever I can when see if I can get what I can get without opening it up first. Just like
All right. So materials analysis and
Mhm.
the design, I guess.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm assisting.
Okay.
Just be like I'm mostly doing this like computer scanning and like gonna go. I'm paranoid about this.
All right. Reason engineering for the analysis. Actually, it's reason security. And security systems focus works.
Okay, so 15.
Difficulty is 2. Well, there's 2.
And then am I assisting with the same skill?
I mean, unless you're doing anything different.
Okay, no, not
Okay.
not that I can think of. That should be good, right? You said it was reason security?
Yeah, that's spot on.
That'll do it.
All right, so you gain 1 momentum. The design is not in the Federation database. The materials, the materials are of a type that's it's deuterium, which is usually the primary component in a starship hull. Maybe not primary. I think tritanium is primary, but anyway, the composition is of a slightly different type. Like there's a maybe not an imperfection, but there's a slight compositional difference that is actually indicative of Breen starship holds.
Dickheads.
Wait, when when did we run into the Breen? I feel like we ran into the Breen around here.
They
right?
were creating an thing on the station.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm gonna have
And they're-
words with them.
And they're kind of behind the consortium, right? Or they're part of it.
Yes. Remember, it's a Breen company registered in the Orion system.
Yeah, so it's
It's
sort of
the
syndicate,
Breen and the
sorta.
Orions. That is a terrifying combination.
So what do you think we're dealing here, Vivek?
It's indicative of Breen design. So probably the consortium, but
I
if had to
mean,
guess.
on a larger scale, what do you think they're up to? What do you think their game is?
They're probably trying to, to secure as much as they can of the system and get us, we're the law and they want us out of here. So
Do you think they might be working with the what's the name of the planet that they mined, basically?
These 3 or 5, I can't remember.
Yeah. Do you think they might be working with the locals, or they might not even know?
I mean, whatever. If anybody's left from the old president's faction, maybe. But the guy was trying to bolt this ship we
that's
stole.
right. Oh, the captain's gonna have her work cut out for her. Do you think the proof is solid? Do you think we could present this? Like, do you think these are just traces, or I don't know. How do I say, like, could we take this to a diplomatic court and say, like, this is Breen? Come on.
It's made of the same metal as their hulls on their ships.
Yeah.
Tenuous connection, but plausibly deniable.
I'll let the captain know what I found.
Thank you, Vivek. That is very helpful.
We still need the control codes.
I expect you'll able. I have faith in you, too.
Right. So,
Especially with Commander Vivek in the lead.
very well, Vivek.
Okay, a little bit of hacking.
Little bit.
Okay. So you're actually
Machine
opening this
first.
thing up now?
Yeah. And it contain setting up some sort of containment field for wherever I'm working, so it doesn't. If it goes off, it doesn't.
Yeah. If this thing is
If it goes,
Yeah, if it goes off, we're screwed anyway. But
yeah.
okay. So fortunately, it is going to be control engineering. I think your security systems focus will apply. However, again, the stakes are higher when dealing with a mine, and so there are fail-safes, and if you do something wrong, it will detonate. So sort of the same thing before, like 2 or more complications are going to mean immediate detonation. 1 complication is going to be a self-destruct timer.
Now we've made a new path through and we've marked this one off, right?
I mean, yeah.
Well, I could either assist with the roll, or could we have a transport lock
asking,
ready
can we,
to
could we set up a beacon saying avoid these mines and take this to the bomb squad?
I mean, yeah, that's completely acceptable, but there's no transmissions coming out of the system. I almost say hold off on screwing with that thing more and let's deal with this, what's going on in system first. And hell, if we need to, we have a fun mine to play with.
Okay, so we're putting that on hold for now?
I think so.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's try and get. Can we race the planet? Was that what you were thinking?
Yeah, that's what I told the helm on the bridge to has to head towards the planet.
All right, but you're not calling them?
Oh, I'm
should
calling
call
them,
them.
but I assume we don't get a signal.
No, yeah, you reach them.
Oh, hi, Chancellor.
Was that her title?
I think so.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either,
Her
but
name
it is now.
Alara or Elwar.
Elwar, I think.
Elwar, Urwar. Oh no, that was the other guy. Alaris is her name.
Oh yeah.
Alaris.
She's like, "Oh, Captain, how lovely to see you again."
I'm glad you're okay.
She looks
Are you?
confused. She's like, "Oh, I mean, are you talking about the communications blackout? It seemed like it was just some sort of a nasty bug in the computers. It only took us a few hours to fix."
I'm also speaking of the minefield.
You see her face go through like 6 different emotions as she tries to process that, and she's like, "What minefield?"
In the path we cleared on your outer ring, it hit one of our starships and destroyed and killed the ambassador. I was deeply concerned that you had been taken, or like that there was your people were in more trouble.
No, we're fine here. We've had no problems whatsoever except for a brief communications issue, and that only affected our off-world off-world communications.
I would suggest sending investigators to get a deeper understanding of what happened there, because I think it was a coordinated attack on your system.
We don't really have investigators that can handle that sort of thing, but
Well, once we arrive, would it be all right with you to send some of our security personnel down to assist?
absolutely. If you think that's best, we're still looking forward to the meeting and reception. You said the ambassador's dead. Who's going to take his place?
I believe as the highest ranking officer in this system currently, it's me.
She actually like beams a little bit. She's like, "Oh, excellent. I look forward to the negotiations."
Same.
Should
I'm glad you are safe and your people. I was very concerned when I could not communicate with you. We will be there shortly.
We'll look forward to it, Captain.
Demore out. I sit down in my chair and let out an audible. And the dog gets upset that I'm feeling better.
Out of character, have we tracked down the source of the communication blackout?
Nope.
no.
Is this
Captain.
a next time part 2 kind of thing? Just wondering.
I think we can handle it.
Okay.
I say, Captain, I'm concerned that whatever generated that communication blackout might strike again while you're down there.
I completely agree. That's why the ship is going to be in high alert, and Lieutenant or Commander Tanjat will be vigilant in my safety. I look over at him.
Duh.
Okay. So as I understand it, there are 2 away teams. One is going to be looking at the communications hub.
Yeah,
And
send that investigator dude we have.
oh, you're just gonna let that one happen off screen?
I mean, we could, if anyone wants to go do it.
Vivek, that does sound like
I'm... Sorry, say again.
she suspects somebody of doing some sort of like a cyber attack on their communication system.
I can investigate that and probably beef it up too.
Yeah, you and the investigator guy go down then.
Mm-hmm.
NPC. And I want the rest of the. And you know what? Just because Eversoul, do you want to come down with me to the planet to the talks, just so you have something to do?
Sorry, I was muted. Yes, Captain, of course.
I mean, as a player.
Yes.
It's up to you. Okay. So the other captain and Eversoul and I will be the other wave mission, and everyone else is to protect us on the ship, to man the ship.
Excellent. Okay. So we'll start with the investigation, because that one should be pretty quick. I mean, you guys beamed down, but you've already been granted access. So, who wants to roll for the investigator, Gerard?
He does not have much of a. Oh wait, he was the kind of, what do we say, Will Smith kind of guy, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
What are focuses? Oh, okay. Investigation, interrogation, forensics. Huh.
And he was generic Will Smith character personality trait.
Was his name Token?
I'm trying to think of like how to give him more of a personality than that.
Go ahead, take him.
Okay. I will take Lieutenant Gerard, who specializes in, let me see, security and medicine. Okay.
The medicine is really more of a supplement to his investigation.
Oh, because of forensic, dissections and shit. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. So he's a trained like security like investigator. He is a male Orion. So male Orions are built like football players.
Right.
Oh no, this was not the Will Smith based character. I don't think this guy has personality at all.
I don't think he has one either. So male Orions are bigger than Orion females, but it is a matriarchal society.
Okay, I'm looking up what these guys look like.
They're big and green.
They're big and green.
Okay. Cool. All right.
You can give him any personality you want because he has 0 right now.
I don't know why I'm thinking like wait, what's his score? He doesn't have a lot of control or a lot of daring. But he has a lot of insight and presence. You know what I'm thinking is like Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy.
I mean, sure.
Okay.
I don't know.
Go with it.
Just kind of like, I don't know. Whatever. Let's go.
Go with it.
I'll figure it out.
It's you and Vivek.
All right.
So where are we? We beam down. What's
Yeah,
around us?
they have like one transmitter for their subspace communication system. It's in the capital.
Mm.
So that's where you are.
Okay. Are there people around us? Do we have to be guided someplace?
Well, yeah, I mean, imagine like you materialize in front of it, they walk you inside. There is a control center, and they'll just say, yeah, we just had some sort of like a virus in our computer system. It was pretty easy to partition it and then delete it, but it took us some time to kind of hunt down all. It was just self-replicating garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And okay. So they're pretty open about it. So
Yeah, no, I'm gonna start checking the security and firewalls and everything, and
Yeah, I mean, it's not state of the art, but it's respectable for an independent planet such as this.
mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm gonna check the access and try to figure out where the
Yeah.
Trojan,
Okay.
where the
Go ahead and roll reason, engineering.
Okay. Security systems
Yeah.
and computer expertise.
Oh, yeah.
All right. What's the difficulty?
Difficulty is 2.
Okay. Then
Mother. Hubber.
Okay, so the complication is burn after reading, which means that as soon as you get this information, the file deletes itself.
Yeah.
So you don't have any evidence.
Mhm.
But it looks like when leaving the system after a recent visit, the Orion pleasure barge, the Homai, transmitted to Alaris a thank you for being a loyal shopper. And here's a coupon for 20% off your next purchase from any of the Rapu Consortium services, including the Tesora Collection bespoke tailor.
What was that noise? And the noise I'm referring to was like the brap brap that happened when it deleted.
Well, I got this information, but it deleted itself. So
So what do we got? A receipt for a boat?
For address.
An address, you said?
No, a receipt for address.
A receipt for a dress.
it said the Tesora Collection, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Yeah. I'll bring this back to the ship.
Bring what back to the ship?
No, not. I mean, tell them what I.
Okay.
I'll relay it to the captain and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I mean, Tonjot's in command right now.
Tanjat.
Tanjat is in command.
I thought Tanjat's like your side. At your side.
No, the other captain, the Andorian.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All right, so the information you get basically is that the Homai was indeed in the system recently, and the communications blackout happened when they sent a file, disguised as a coupon to Alaris, who opened it, and it crashed their subspace communications network for a bit.
They were taunting us. They said the Tesora Collection addresses.
Does Lieutenant Giroir? I don't think he'd know.
I don't think he does either.
Yeah. Could be a coincidence.
Yeah, sure.
Does Tesora hear this?
I don't think she has yet.
Told...
Oh, well, you know what? If you were on the bridge, you would have heard it, because I forgot all comms are open in this. So when Vivek triggers his comm badge and talks, you do hear that it was the Tesora Collection. Like
you said it was a dress?
That's what they said.
Purchased from the Rapu Consortium?
It was coupon for a dress, from the Tesora Collection.
That can't be right.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't have proof because it deleted itself, but.
Tesora is going to get on space shopping, and she's trying to find out when. Well, first of all, do I know when the Tesora Collection was created?
Um. Yeah, go ahead and roll me. Um. I guess. I guess. Reason command.
Reason command. Okay.
Just roll 2 dice. It's not a specific difficulty. I just. Okay. Um. Yeah. So what little information you can find about it, is actually like in the sort of like database or directory at Tratato Station, and it just says that at the Repu Consortium you can purchase, and it has a list of everything, and one of them is the Tesora Collection Bespoke Tailors.
Bespoke tailors.
Just a simple tailor.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay. So we'll go to the captain,
The
Eversole,
captain and Eversole.
and Thazorek. Yeah, so you guys, you beam down, and like it's a full state reception, right? So I don't think anybody really expected all of this fanfare. Like there are literal brass instruments playing a fanfare when you materialize. Thazorek only has his one uniform, and it's got like a blood stain on one part
I
of
mean,
it.
we replicated him.
Okay,
A uniform.
all right, fair enough. But still, well, are you guys wearing your dress uniforms, or are you like just?
I mean,
going
I
in?
don't think we were expecting. Did he say this was dress uniform?
Well, they said formal, like reception and stuff.
They did say reception.
Can I just roll? I'm gonna roll. What would this be?
You know what? You have the
command.
you have the diplomacy focus.
Yeah.
You can show up in the proper clothing.
Yeah, we show up in the proper clothing.
Okay. So she is there, and she is wearing a pretty stunning dress. And there's a handful of minor adjuncts and other state functionaries that are all also like similarly dressed. And she's like, Captain, we are so excited for this opportunity for our 2 people to move forward.
As are we.
Would you like to join us for the formal dinner, and then we can begin negotiations for the terms?
Of course. My wife's going to be upset at me that she wasn't invited.
She's
Let's
like,
say
oh,
you
no,
should
no,
invite
no,
your
invite her down, please, please.
I stop and then go. I kind of smile and then go, honey, you have 10 minutes if you'd like to come down and join us.
You just hear silence, and then, I'll be right there. So
She usually takes much longer than 10 minutes.
9 minutes and 55 seconds later, she also materializes at the the designated area. And so she graciously meets everybody. She's obviously very, very excited. This is her first official state dinner as a starship captain's wife. Yeah, so when you sit, it is the tropian long table, with everybody kind of sitting at it. A whirling cloud of servants, bringing all sorts of fragrant dishes, glasses clinking, and sound of silverware on plates. Demora, you're sitting on Alaris's right.
Okay.
And the Andorian captain is sitting to her left, and then sort of, I guess your wife is probably sitting next to you. But then as you go farther down the table, people are lower and lower ranked.
Okay. I mean, Eversole's probably within our little bunch there.
I think he's a few spots down.
but still able to communicate.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's nothing special planned for the dinner, but if you had any questions or if you wanted to do
I'll
anything,
make some small attack because it's flavorful and fun.
yeah.
This is my jam. I will take a bite, or once I'm partially in the meal, I'll go, this is delicious. And this is the first time in a while I had a fancy meal that wasn't fusion.
She's like, "Oh, what is fusion food? That sounds interesting."
You take the dishes from one culture, and then you mix it with the dishes of another culture to make a fusion dish.
She's like, "Oh, do you need like some sort of a special kitchen appliance for that?"
Not at all. You just need a crazy chef to do it.
She like calls one of the servants over, and she's like, "I wish to have fusion food for my next dinner. Contact the chef on the Percival. I think he can probably help."
I will give a smile and a nod. And say, so how have things been now that the your funds have been returned?
She's like, "Well, we've been able to, increase the social programs and environmental cleanup programs on the planet. You'll be happy to hear that this dinner is sort of like taken from the bounty of our first successful harvest in almost 10 years. We've been host to several starships from different cultures who have come to trade with us, their products for our, freshly mined, you found us those dilithium deposits and other minerals. We are well on our way to becoming a fully functional, economy on our own. It's pretty exciting. I've even been able to, purchase. Several of us were recently able to purchase goods, including these, lovely clothes from a traveling trading group.
Oh, which group would that be?
They're called the Rapu Consortium.
Ah, yes, them. I will kind of give a nod and I'll say, we'll need to speak about them later. But for now, let's not get into that.
She's like, "Oh my, that sounds ominous."
It is indeed ominous, but no need to spoil the dinner. And I will say, but I brought a personal gift, and I'll pull out like my little bag that I have and pull out a thing. Canarn says, "This is from my home planet."
She's like, "Oh, excellent," and she'll like just throw the whatever liquids in the glass that she has kind of off to the side, like near a potted plant, and hold it out.
Would you like some? As I pour after I finish pouring it for her. Eversol, would you like some?
Yes, Captain. I would love to indulge.
She's like, "Oh my, that's interesting," and she sets it down and takes a drink of water.
I hear it's an acquired taste. One that I have indeed acquired. I kind of down my glass and then look over at the wife.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot she was there. She's like, "I have yet to acquire it, and she's been making me drink it for 5 years."
And then I'll just kind of give a little bit of a snicker, and then you don't have to like it, Chancellor. I can abide and enjoy for all of us.
And she's like, "Well, no, we'll share it." And like before you even have a chance to respond one way or the other, like one of the servants snatches it out of your hands, and the bottle sort of like travels around the table, so like down to your right and then up across from you.
And all kinds of shudders.
Like 2 or 3 people are like, not appreciatively. One person throws up. There's like it's a real mixed bag.
Nice.
And she's like, as long as we're breaking out the good stuff. She waves and she's like, the traders that were recently here left us a parting gift of this, and she pulls out like this unopened bottle of like a solid blue, almost luminous liquid, and she's
Is that the same consortium that gave you the dresses?
correct.
I hate to sound paranoid again, but Eversoul, would you get your would you get your tricorder out very quickly and scan that?
Of course, Captain. Let me see what I can find.
Looks like Romulan to me.
What do I need to roll to scan that up?
Just if there's any carcinogens.
Yes.
let's-
Poison, any.
Yeah, so let's do control medicine, medical sciences, focus. So 17, double success on a 5.
How many successes do I need?
Just one.
I got it. I got 2.
You did get 2. So the contents of the bottle are fairly unsafe for any humanoid to drink. It's got an incredible amount of alcohol and a couple of other like sort of mild toxins, the same way that like absinthe traditionally has wormwood in it. So it is incredibly intoxicating, and you can't imagine it would taste good at all.
But it's Romulan ale and not like poison.
It is Romulan ale.
I will look at the captain and say, Captain, that is Romulan ale, but I do not believe that should be consumed by
This stuff ought to be illegal.
But it's not poisoned.
No, Captain, but I do believe that anybody drinks it would not surely survive.
I enjoy Romulan ale. I will gladly accept a cup.
I'll stand by then, Captain.
Party time.
All right, yeah. So this is where the party kind of goes off the rails a little bit. So everybody's a little lubed up. And I think
We can
Alara,
stop there.
yeah, she kind of realizes that maybe she's lost control of things a little bit. So she's like, perhaps before things get a little too rowdy, you and I should adjourn to the other room to discuss the terms of the treaty.
Yes, of course. I agree.
All right. I think
Doctor, do you have a clear head in that bag of yours?
Yes, Captain. Clear the serum. Sorry, you said clear head?
Just give me a clear head.
daring medicine. Difficulty is 1.
1 or 2 dice.
2 dice.
You just did her with a shot of raw
Oh
adrenaline.
no! Can I use some momentum to reroll?
No, you can't.
No.
I'll just take the complication.
Oh, so, okay, so he forgot to account for the fact, because he's a little drunk too, obviously. He forgot to account for, the whatever mineral that your blood, consists primarily of.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever it is has it's got almost the opposite effect. So you're suddenly feeling, I won't say you're worrying about falling asleep, but you're having a really hard time concentrating on what people are saying.
It's got me mellowed. It's got me clear-headed, but mellowed to the point of falling asleep.
No, you're not in danger of falling asleep. You're having a hard time paying attention to what people are saying.
Okay.
You are gacked.
Okay. All right. Do we need to role play the thing, or can we just assume that it goes weird?
Oh no, we're absolutely making a roll to see how the negotiations go.
Okay.
This is a fairly important treaty for the Federation because it's the first of several that they're hoping to be able to sort of expand their sphere of influence into this region.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, at the end of the day, the thing is going to be signed. It's just how generous the terms are.
Okay,
So
so
go ahead
what
and
I would
roll.
like to do
Oh yeah, go ahead.
is use my determination to tap everything changes
Okay.
for a double success.
Okay.
And then I will use a momentum to roll 3.
Okay.
And I assume this is presence command.
Yes.
So this is
Roll 1 fewer die.
roll 1 fewer die.
Yeah, because it's like a number of successes equal the better the better the negotiation succeeds. So that gact is just costing you a die instead of making it one harder.
Okay, so it's I use that momentum to get me back up to 2 then.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Cool. All right, and so this is 15-4 because I assume diplomacy,
Yes.
and then with an audit, and I've already rolled 2 successes.
So there's 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Okay. It's a fairly even deal. It's probably honestly about what the ambassador would have been aiming for.
Great.
Yeah. So you did quite well. I mean, it's not like a treaty for the ages or anything, but I think both sides are happy, and I think the Andorian is pretty impressed that you're able to do it while obviously drunk off your ass.
And I will smile, and then after we do the pleasantries, shake hands, and she leaves, I look at my wife and I'm like, "Do you see those spots? I see those spots."
She's like, "Oh,
Are there 4 or 5 of them?
All right.
There are 4 spots.
So she hits your communicator badge, and she's like, "Percival, 4 to beam up, please. 5 to beam up."
You are so blue, and I love that about you. As we're getting beamed up.
Oh, all right. Well, that was fairly successful.
Holy shit, that Gan moment though.
Yeah.
I assume that was credits roll at that point.
I don't know that we even need a final scene.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
much.
I mean, I could be down for a go around at the malt shop.
I think we're good.
I feel like that sort of like drunken masterwork negotiation kind of tied the bow on it, as well as
Okay,
those things
that's fair.
usually do.
We'll start the malt in your malt shop next episode. You can drive.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think the next time we're gonna start out with you guys sort of on the hunt for the Homai, because at this point I feel like most of their sort of benign facade has fallen away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the 10th episode for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't know when we're gonna redo this one because I know my schedule's up in the air, and I know we're trying to find a new time to do this.
Well, I was just asking if a new time worked better for anybody. So next Thursday, does that still work for everybody, or does it work for everybody but Tara?
It works for me, kind of. We'll get into it later. But
So far, it still works for me.
Okay.
I got my new schedule. It works without a problem.
Okay. Well
Yeah,
then,
Kobold standard time, like I can pretty much start any day of the week.
all right. Right. As long as we're talking about schedules, we're the Kobold Cafe. We usually start at Kobold Standard Time, which is 7 p.m. Central, and then you can count either direction if that's easier for you. Our schedule is on the website, thekoboldcafe.com. If you're hearing this, you're probably on Twitch or linked there from the Kobold Cafe to the Twitch video. Twitch.tv/Kobold Cafe. We got a Twitter. It's at Kobold Cafe. I'm sure you're sensing a theme by this point. We're also on YouTube, but you have to search for Kobold Cafe because we don't have a vanity URL. Unless you'd
Not
like
yet.
and subscribe. Yeah.
And if I mean, there's that bell thing or whatever. It's YouTube shenanigans.
Sure. So this has been Star Trek Adventures. Game name is Pathfinder. I'm Colin. I've been the GM, and in order of sheer ballsiness tonight, at least in their primary character, we have James.
Hey, James, I flew a ship through a minefield
Twice.
twice.
You flew it into and then out of the minefield.
yeah, that's fair.
All
But
right.
I hope I gained a little respect from Tesora for.
Yeah, no, that was ballsy. And then sticking around when you knew there was a chance of player death.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah. Oh,
character death.
Man, I made a bunch of like.
Yeah. All right, and then Tesora. Daniel.
This is Daniel. I've been to Sora and I need to go speak to a Ferengi about a dress.
Who is next? Tara.
I did a lot of crazy things, but not as badass as the other two. But I am Tara. I play Captain Demore. Yeah, she got into some craziness this week.
Everoth.
Hello, I was Lieutenant Commander Eversole, and today I would like to have thought to show the captain that this was not my first triage.
Yeah, that was pretty friggin' amazing. And then finally, the one who played it the safest, hands down, was Tom.
Yeah, I'm Tom. I played Vivek, and nobody's blowing up my ship, even me. So I'm not performing surgery on a bomb if I don't have to.
Before we go, I want to add one more thing.
Yeah, please.
There's a post-credit scene where the third in command is an astrometric's like, clean up the message. I see how it is. And then, like, you know, he looks up and realizes that it's pointless.
All right. This has been Star Trek Adventures Pathfinder, and we will see you this time next week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.